welcome back. So, as you can see here, we got some YS parts in for this Mike's pattern plane project. So, little backstory on this. This is a YS FZ140 Sport. You can tell because of the way it is. I'm missing I'll have to find a screw for that. But anyways, this thing's probably got a couple gallons of fuel run through it. Here's the muffler that I run with it. And anyways, it started acting up a couple years ago, not wanting to idle, blowing through glow plugs and stuff like that. I tried adjusting it and stuff, but it was, just not happy with the way it was. So I asked some questions online. A couple guys said regulators, probably bad with the age of the engine, and also everything's got to be sealed up tight. So we're not going to do a complete rebuild and tear down of this engine because it does run, and it still feels really good in here. Like it's got, decent compression for a 4-stroke. So I've never messed with one of these engines before. I've had this regulator apart a few times over the years, but we're just going to dig into this thing and see what we see. I got a new plunger regulator assembly, and I also have some new gaskets here. They were out of stock on the O-ring, so I don't even know. I thought that came out. It's been so long since I messed with this thing. Hopefully, ideally, we'll be able to get this thing running today. I got an engine stand up there. I guess I could get you guys in here a little closer so you can see what I'm doing here. How's that? Pretty good. So, when I'm rebuilding engines, I obviously like to have a clean works area, and I also the other thing I do is when I take stuff apart is I make sure that I have new parts to go back together, or if I'm just investigating a possible problem like bearings or something, I usually order new parts to begin with. On a 2-stroke, it's pretty easy. So I see maybe I didn't order enough parts. I know, boring, right? So there's a diaphragm right there. Let's go ahead and get a paper towel, set that out for parts. There's a spring in there. You can see that. That's an O-ring. Okay. A little bit of dirt in there. I'll have to clean that up. So there's the diaphragm. I can see that. There we go. There's the diaphragm. There's the plunger. I guess that's the little ball that goes on the end of it. You can see the new parts here for that. Spring. That's your regular assembly adjustment. Like I said, it's kind of dirty in there. I think I got some carpet cleaner over here. I tried to look a video up online on rebuilding this pump assembly, and I couldn't find anything. I'm like, what the heck? Okay. I might have been running the wrong prop too, because I think I had like a 17.8 on it, and they were saying like a 16.10 or 16.11 on this motor. Okay, there's that all cleaned up. We got a gasket there. We got a new one there, so we'll remove this. Again, sorry about my videos taking technique here. So we'll replace that. Try to lay everything out in the order that you disassembled it in. Well, there's a knife. We can clean this up. Be careful not to gouge the aluminum case here. Right in the face. Okay, that's not bad. Like I said, you want to be careful not to. I'm going to take the carb back off and the valve cover off, because I'm going to replace those gaskets. That's too big. You're going to need a flathead screwdriver, probably some sort of scraping device, a metric Allen set. That's what I got here, metric. He said the valve cover gasket could be leaking. The back gaskets could be leaking. I just know that one minute it was happy and the next minute it wasn't. That seemed like it was pretty tight. This engine has always had one YS 2020 fuel run through. I still actually have a couple quarts over there. When you're here, my video skills are really sucking today, aren't they? So when you're taking these Allens off, you know, wiggle it, push on it, and don't, you know, twist on it too much. This is a fairly fresh engine, so it shouldn't come apart too awfully bad. But as you can see here. But if you got a really old engine that's been around the patch a few minutes, you know, grab you a hammer and smack on the Allen a little bit, and it'll loosen the threads up, enable you to get it out without, you know, rounding the head of the Allen out. Ask me how I know. So these 4 screws should remove the carburetor here. There's that gasket. Not much to see, is there? Well, you can see there's actually the bearings look really clean in there from what I can see. There's two, I don't know if you can see in there or not, but like right there and right down here, there's a port you can see right into there, and there's a window in the, I'll turn it. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's got it right here. Probably too dark. Yeah, I just have to trust me. So, yeah, that's the gasket removed, and there's some O-rings in there, and there's a gasket here. Boy, that looks a little weird, but okay. So anyways, we'll get our gaskets out, because that's as far as I'm tearing this motor down. Lay them out here. I'm not going to use all of them. I mean, I guess it's only 2 more bolts for the back cover here. Let's do that too. Boy, those are loose. I wonder if they're just supposed to be that loose. And again, camera angle. I mean, once we get done with this off camera, I'll get a motor mount and set the there we go. Boy, that's interesting, isn't it? So that went like that. I know it's backwards for you guys. Like I said, I mean, it looks practically brand new in there. No excess play. The bearing still looks shiny in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. There you go. A little glimpse in there. There you go. That way. That way. No, that way. But yeah, you can. I'm trying to get a good view here for you guys, but let's bring it down to. Like I said, it looks in really good shape. So it should just be a gasket, and hopefully the pump diaphragm assembly will fix the runnability issues. Lots of oil in this thing, even though it hasn't ran in a couple of years. So try to loosen this up. I don't want to spray carb cleaner directly into the motor. A little bit of carb cleaner on a rag, and the rest of the gasket is just a little bit of elbow grease here. And then maybe a little bit of there we go. Reassembly. Put that gasket there. Or maybe we should, well, let's clean this up first. Spray a little carb cleaner on there, and The other thing I try to do especially when I'm into something this deep. Oh wow, that moves. Huh, that's weird. I don't know why. Yeah, I would say that moves around. I don't know why. I'm going to leave it right back where it was at, though. I hope this thing wasn't timed. That's a pretty snug fit across there. I bet it was. I wonder where that was supposed to land. It looks like in that little window right there, that bigger window. See the indent? I know, it's so entertaining. These weren't super tight, so I'm not going to go in there and I don't think that's right. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Well, if it doesn't run, we'll know where to go. That's what I get for moving things around. I might have to replay the video. That looks a little better. I would say that see, this thing moves around. Okay. I don't have any idea what it does, but we're going to put it on bottom dead center like that. This is the bottom of the back plate. And then if you notice, there's a protrusion in the rod right here, the con rod. Okay, you can't really see it on camera, but it's a good 1/4 inch deep, and it probably rides in there because look at the wear marks on that instead of there. So we're going to put the engine at bottom dead center. We're going to put that at bottom dead center. And then try to line it up. See if it doesn't go on all the way. It's probably not sitting in there right. And I don't... see if we can... There it goes. So I just put a little bit of pressure on the back plate, and I turned the, and it just took a little bit. Now it's snapped in, and now I can see it like I could before. Learn something new every day. See, I'm not that much of an idiot. I know a little bit about mechanical stuff. Just not video recording. I wish they would have had an O-ring kit, but they didn't have one for it. So we could put some new O-rings in there and make sure everything's nice and sealed up. So there's that. Here's the new gasket there. How did that go? Like that. That looks pretty good. Not a fan of that clear gasket material. Nice and easy. We'll pop that back into place. Short one's obviously going outside. And then the other thing I do, I'm just lifted it up a little bit. There it goes. Maybe. Ah, I need to sit down. Maybe you guys can see again my camera skills. Just gonna loosen this one up. I got a good idea that the gasket's stopping me from okay. So I repositioned it. Now, I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but the holes for the gasket are smaller than the holes that are provided to put the screws in, the Allen bolts in. So, I think what I'm going to do is line it up with the bottom screws here. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing here. Not that you can see it a lot because it's a clear gasket, which, okay. There we go. And then maybe now we can line the top tube of the intake tube up. Put that down in there. You notice how I'm screwing this in? I'm just grabbing it and twiddling it with my fingers. Because if you get it cross-threaded, you don't want a lot of torque on it if you're not starting them by hand, which I know some people will say, oh, you gotta start that by hand. No, not really, because if you get them straight and you twiddle your fingers around like that, I mean, granted, it'd be nice to start them by hand like I did just there. But sometimes with that little stuff you can't get your, I know I'm started here, so I'm no risk of stripping the bolt out, especially in the steel bolt and aluminum housing. It's going to be an hour-long video if I ain't careful. Okay, there's that. I'm just doing this by feel. Who knows, maybe this will help somebody someday. If it runs. Okay, that part's done. Let's do the valve cover gasket here. Again, a little brake clean on a rag. Don't want to put any chemicals down inside of a nice engine. And to me, this was a very big purchase back in the day when I made it. It was brand new. Okay. Look at that. That looks suspectly weird. Colors on it. Okay. Valve cover gasket is on. Valve cover. Maybe. The front one. No. There's the back one. And no, I didn't check the tolerances in the on the valves because I'm not exactly sure what they're supposed to be anymore. I mean, it's definitely building pressure and it's definitely got some compression to it. So the next thing is, let's see about this. Holy smokes, how am I supposed to get that down in there? Let's try some pliers, some little pliers here. Just trying to lightly grab it. You probably can't see a thing I'm doing, but this is focus. That's a tiny piece of rubber that's got to go on the end of that, down inside there. Okay. know how to tell if I got it all the way on there or not. No, it's definitely moving around all right. I can't seem to get my. You can kind of see it down in there, and it's definitely opening and closing. And then I'm not going to spray any brake clean on the. I'm just going to clean the diaphragm off here. Get rid of any bad stuff. It goes like that, I assume. Yeah. Okay, where did my screws go? Hold. There. I already forgot how this thing goes back together. So are these threaded? Yep, those are threaded. And that one there should be threaded. Yep, that's threaded. Wouldn't imagine that would have a rhyme or reason to upside down or right side up. Okay. That there. And again, camera angle. Like that. Boy, this ain't gonna be fun. Ah. And knowing me, this probably needed to be replaced. Try that. That goes there. That one. Just trying to line this up. it goes. Okay, looks like I got that. I'm going to snug this up pretty tight. There we go. Okay, so what this does is this is your low speed adjustment. And I took some notes before I started. I did a quick internet search. Get my notepad here while I'm doing this. So clockwise direction leans the mixture, and counterclockwise richens it up. So what it does is, if you saw that spring in there, so that's closed all the way, so that means that pump ain't gonna work. So what that does is that this thing is sitting in here, and it's using pulses from the crankcase pressure that it's attached to. That's what the diaphragm does, is it seals it off. But this goes up and down. Okay, I can, nope, wrong video here. Let's start over. So this goes in and out. Okay, this is the rod. Okay, and it's got this little piece of rubber that attaches to it. And ours, the one that came off, appears to be plastic, not metal. And that seems to be hard. And so that's fitting on the other side there, just like that. Okay, and then you got the spring in the center and the screw. So by counterclockwising it, or clockwise, screwing it in clockwise, okay, you're tightening this up and creating less movement out of that pump. And that leans the low speed mixture, because this only has a high speed mixture. So everybody said that they go flush, which is what the manual recommends. So we're going to take this screw here, and the initial setting is flush, so we're not there yet. I'm going to call that flush. Yep. And then one guy online says the way he does it is he goes a third past flush, lean clockwise in. So, you know, there's a half. A half and 1/3. Okay, so that's where we're gonna start, and I think that's about where I was at when I ran this engine. So there's that all done up. So I'm gonna go hunt around and see if I can find a motor mount. I have this stand up here that we can, if I can reach it. I'll get it later. Anyways, I'm going to find a motor mount, get this thing bolted down to a test stand, get the prop back on it. We're going to probably play with some props. And hopefully here in a little bit, this thing will be roaring back to life, and I'll show you the proper way to plumb this, and starting procedures and all that kind of stuff. So you just hang on for a moment. Alright, I hope you guys can hear me okay. We're over here in the shop. I got the YS on the test stand here, new Hanger 9 motor mount, and I got a little, what is this, a 12-ounce tank. It can last very long. They're pretty power hungry. Anyways, I don't know if you can see my routing here, but this is my plunk line here, and that goes over to this nipple here on the right side. You are looking at this image in backwards. And then the pressure valve is here, goes over here through the check valve. I know you can't see the check valve to the left side of the pump. And then it's the little hose here back to the carburetor that you also cannot see. So when you fill these up, you need to make sure that your You got to undo both connections. And what we got here for fuel is YS 2020 fuel, 20% nitro. If I can get it to tank up here. Looks like we got a bit of a leak. Might have to tighten that up a little bit. Yeah, okay. Should be enough fuel. We'll go ahead and reconnect to our check valve. I'll take this off. Okay, plug that back together. So YS 2020 fuel. We got a 1610 APC pattern prop. I don't know if that makes a difference. We are 2 needles out, 2 turns out on the high-speed needle. And then, like I said before, we're 3/4 of a turn in from flush on the regulator. So the first thing you want to do is build pressure. So this is where the starter comes in. And you need to turn it over for 10 seconds. Do that now. Okay, I can start to see fuel coming through here or through here and entering our carburetor. So that's ready to rock. I'll grab a screwdriver here real quick for a rock flipper. Work. Since I forgot my other one, freshly charged NiCad. Put this on, and this thing should, in theory, fire right up. I'll open the carburetor up a little bit. I'm going to backflip it. Might not do it because it's flush. Try to start it by hand here. There was the starter. Maybe open the carb up a little bit more. Well, it runs. I don't know what we were getting for tack, but that was a little scary, so we're going to say it runs. I think I need to That's why I got a servo on this side for these big engines. Let's see if we can get her to fire back up. That's pretty cool, huh? Maybe. Where did my screwdriver go? There's my knife. I'm going to tighten the screws up a little bit more. It sounded really good. Oh, that's that one. Yeah, that might help a little there. Okay. This thing you usually start up by hand. Yeah, kind of like that. Trying to get some tension on this thing's rod so I can hold some. Might be a little rich. I'm leaning her in a little bit. I like that. So it runs, it's good, it idles. That definitely fixed all of our issues. The next thing is we got to get this thing on the airplane, get the airplane finished, and then we can tune it in, because I don't like reaching around and doing all this. I usually don't try not to run my engines too much on test stands for that reason. Now, you can see how much that tank blew up. That's all the pressure from the tank. This thing is hard. So to release the pressure, you never want to pull the fuel line off first. Now when we put this in the airplane, we will run a T to both sides so that way we can safely release the pressure. But since we don't have that, I'm going to undo it here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this or not, but that's good. And now tank is soft. So anyways, I'm going to let this stuff cool down. Thank you guys for watching, and please like, comment, or subscribe, and subscribe. It helps the channel out more than you would imagine. So if you want to see great stuff like this, catch you later.